Today I am ranking all 38 of my Glamlite eyeshadow palettes. I did this video a year ago and I only had 25 Glamlite eyeshadow palettes then. I've definitely collected quite a few more, so let's get into this. This is going to be my least favorite, which I really don't have any least favorites. I love all Glamlite eyeshadow palettes, but my least favorite to most favorite eyeshadow palette. And there's 38 of them, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I will have numbers up on the screen because I guarantee I'm going to lose my place, but let's start with number 38, the Glamlite Donut Palette. This is going to be my least favorite just because this is a discontinued palette, and honestly, I have not used it a whole lot since having it. This might make some people mad, but next up we have the Ice Cream Dream palette. This is another discontinued palette, therefore I don't really reach for it often. Plus, I don't really reach for pastels, but it is nice to have pastel options in your collection. That is why I wanted this palette, because I really don't have pastels in any other palette. It is nice to have, I just don't use them often. The next 5 I'm going to group together. All of these are also discontinued. Starting with the Hershey Kisses Cookies and Cream palette. This is an all blue eyeshadow palette. Again, just don't really reach for it. I don't wear blue eyeshadow often. Next is the Hershey Kisses Special Dark. I love purple eyeshadows, but they have better purple eyeshadows in my opinion. This was a good one to play with when I first got it, but again, they have better ones I like more now. Next is the Hershey Kisses Milk Chocolate palette. Now, this one I have to be careful showing you because this shade is completely shattered, but it is beautiful. It is a cool toned neutral palette, but I just don't reach for it often. Next, we have the Hershey Kisses Milk Chocolate with Almonds palette. This one I did use more than the previous ones, but I'm just not the biggest fan. They have better neutral palettes. Now, this is the one out of this collection that I use the most. This is the Hershey Kisses Lava Cake. This pink up here. We're just gonna have to swatch it. I'm not gonna swatch all of the eyeshadow palettes because then we would be here literally all day, but this color, stunning. Same story here, these were discontinued. Again, I don't really use blue eyeshadow often, so this is the Icy Blue Raspberry palette. And then we also have right behind it the Cherry palette. I did use this one a lot more than the Blue Raspberry one, but I just don't really wear red eyeshadow anymore. I don't know why. This is a little newer to my collection. This is the Glamlite Holiday Sweets palette. This originally was just in their holiday mystery box, and then they launched it separately, and it's only a $10 eyeshadow palette, but I just can't really seem to get the depth that I want out of this palette. These metallics are amazing, but there's just not enough depth with the darker matte shades. Next up, we have the Barbie palette. This is stunning. It is very fun and colorful. Again, I just do not reach for this one very often. I have used it a handful of times. This is just more of a collector item for me at this point. I just don't really reach for it. I have better purples, pinks, blues, and all that from Glamlite. This one's just not my favorite. Next, we have the whole drink collection. So let's go from least favorite to most. I love me a good margarita, but this palette just really was not it for me. There's not enough depth once again with this palette. This green is stunning. We will go ahead and swatch her, but again, there's just not enough depth with this one. Then we have the Wine palette. I love a good purple eyeshadow moment, but they have better than this. And all these were discontinued as well. Next up, we have the Chocolate Martini. Gorgeous, loved it, used it a ton when I first got it, don't really reach for it now. And the last one in that collection is the Dirty Martini. These greens were absolutely stunning. I am a little sad that they discontinued this one because it is a good one. Next up, we have the Good Guys eyeshadow palette. I love Chucky. That is one of my favorite horror franchises of all time. This palette definitely speaks to me on that kind of a level, but as far as colors I wear, again, I don't really reach for blues and like red tones anymore. So this one is definitely in the bottom. Next up, we have the Frosted Flakes eyeshadow palette. I used this a ton when I first got it. I love the warm tone neutrals in here. This blue is very, very stunning. Same with this one. I love the icy white in here, but not my favorite. Next, we have the Michaela Part 2. This is the tin pan one. We'll get to the big one in a little bit. This one I do love. I love greens. I love browns. I just don't ever really reach for it. I don't know why on that one, but it is stunning. But there is palettes I like more than this one. Next, we have the Kiss collab. This is a stunning palette. I love, 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 love how they have this setup. You have all your blues up here, your greens, your purples, and then your reds. These are colors I would reach for, but the formula is lacking a little bit in this one. Like, the shimmers are definitely not as metallic as what's on my eyes right now. Then we have the Rick and Morty palette. This is also very, very gorgeous. This is what I reach for usually when I want a green or purple look, because there is so many different tones and options. There's even some blues in here. You have oranges over here. Like, there's so many different color options in this one. This is a really good one. Now we're getting to the part where I'm gonna have a hard time narrowing these down. We're gonna go with the Michaela Part 1 eyeshadow palette. This is the original. This is my very first Glamlite eyeshadow palette ever. This was my go-to for like a pink purpley look. These shades are absolutely stunning. I'm sad this one is discontinued because there is so much variety with this. Then we have the Michaela Part 2, the bigger palette. This is stunning for a green or purple eye look. The metallics in here, the shiftiness of it. I'm gonna do these two. Gorgeous. Next, we have the Nightmare on Elm Street palettes. I'm gonna start with this one, which is Dream Master. This is the red toned one. I used to really be into red eyeshadows, not so much anymore. Now, the Freddy Krueger palette, the more green toned one, when I want a grungy green, this is what I am grabbing for. And this shade right here, it's called Killer. Yeah, that is an inner corner highlight with a grungy green look to die for. This is a bit newer to my collection. This is the Wonka Bar palette. This is beautiful for a nice purpley eye, and you have neutral tones over here. This is overall just a really nice palette. I love to wear purples, I love to wear neutrals, and I have both in one. But one I like more than that is the Lord of the Rings palette. This was such an unexpected, stunning launch. There's greens, there's purples, there's dark colors. You could do a smoky eye with this. There's so many options with this palette. I'm speechless. When I first used this, I was instantly in love. Next, we have the Friday the 13th palette. This is gorgeous. This used to be my go-to for the grungy greens, but I don't know. I haven't really been reaching for this one, probably because it's discontinued, sadly, even though this is such a gorgeous color story, and the look that I did with this when I first got it for the review of this collection, I'm still in love with. Now, if you were looking for a fall time eyeshadow palette, look no further. This Garfield one has you covered, and it's very surprising. Like, I like this more than I thought I was going to, but this is really my kind of color story for the fall time. This is just so stunning. I literally wore it for Thanksgiving last year. Probably will again this year, not gonna lie. Now, I know I said I've really moved away from the red eyeshadows, but Betty Boop still has a place in my heart. And some of the shades in here, like these two, are a different formula than the rest of the Glamlite eyeshadows. They are just so wet and metallic. I can't get enough of these two, but this palette as a whole is absolutely gorgeous. Now, if you're looking for a different kind of fall eyeshadow palette, like yes, the Garfield is beautiful, but I think the Trick or Treat might even top that one. I don't know what it is about these matte shades, but these speak to me a little more than the Garfield does. Honestly, I might use this for Thanksgiving this year. It is just so, so, so stunning, and I've been obsessed with it ever since I tried it. We have 8 eyeshadow palettes left. The bottom one out of the 8 is going to be this one. This is the Scooby-Doo Creeps and Crawls. This is also a discontinued palette. I love this for a teal eyeshadow moment or purple. Like, this is a staple in my collection. It is beautiful, but I do love the Retro Reggae palette even more than that one. I have used this so many times here on my YouTube channel, on my TikTok. The grains in here are insane. Plus, these shades over here are stunning as well. So we're just gonna do a little swatch of those 4 right here. You can't tell me they're not pretty. I really, really wish they did not discontinue this because I really want a backup of it, but it's gone. Next up, we have the Halloween 2 collab. This is also a very stunning fall palette. I just love fall time. I love fall vibes, makeup, clothes, everything about fall screams my name. The oranges in here, the blues. This is my kind of blue. I want it to be kind of dirty. I don't want a pure, just straight up cobalt blue on my eye. I want something more like this nowadays. I used to love a good cobalt moment, but this is more my vibe now. Then for the palette I am wearing today is the Jacob palette from the Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1 collection. Ugh, I love this. And as you can see, you can create a very stunning, kind of neutral, smoky-ish eye with it. It's gorgeous, and I love the green tones in here as well. This is a good one. Normally I am Team Jacob, but this Edward palette, it's everything I want and more. Like, yes, there's red tones in here, but they're deeper reds, which I feel like suits me a little more. But I love a good smoky eye, and you can do that with this. And then the purples in here are also very gorgeous. Speaking of purple and reds, the Chucky Crazy in Love collection. Ugh, this palette was my go-to for a smoky eye look, but something did replace that. Then we have the Ghostface palettes. We have to talk. So we're gonna put Ghostface Returns at number 2. This is a beautiful palette. I love the smoky eyes that you can do with this. I add a little pop of red sometimes on the lower lash line. I love doing a look like that. You also have neutral tones in here, so you could just do a more neutral look, kind of like I'm wearing today. But the original Ghostface Lives palette was so good, and everybody wanted to hate on it because it did not have red eyeshadows. So they discontinued this one and brought out this one. This palette is my all-time favorite. I have used it so many times. I used it for my engagement photos, the day I got married, my reception, anything important. This is the palette I am pulling out because it does no wrong. This is the perfect smoky eye palette. And the shifts in here, like I'm gonna swatch Sharpest Knife, literally one swipe. Are you joking? And they discontinued this and replaced it with this. I mean, yes, this is beautiful. I do reach for this, but not as much as I reach for this. This was probably the saddest moment in my life when it comes to Glamlite because they got rid of my favorite eyeshadow palette of all time. If I had to dump my whole collection Glamlite eyeshadow palettes, non-Glamlite eyeshadow palettes, and keep one to use the rest of my life, it's gonna be this. All the way. It is going to be this. And that was my official updated ranking of all 38 Glamlite eyeshadow palettes. Again, none of them are my least favorite because I have used them all. I have loved them all for different purposes, but I do prefer some over others. That is just my personal opinion. But again, I love Glamlite. I will continue to forever buy Glamlite eyeshadows because I know when I buy a Glamlite eyeshadow palette, what kind of quality I'm getting, what kind of colors I want in a palette is usually in there. If not, like for instance, the Holiday Sweets palette here, it doesn't have the depth that I want, but these metallic-y shades really do make up for that. And I could add these in to a different palette and create a very nice cohesive look with it, just pulling in something else. Again, Glamlite is my favorite eyeshadow brand of all time, no questions asked. This is it for me. I am going to show you an overlay of this drawer. It is literally jam-packed full of nothing but Glamlite eyeshadow palettes. Like, I literally pulled the drawer out of there, and this is the thing. It is so full. I'm probably gonna have to start another drawer. Because again, I know I'm not gonna stop buying Glamlite eyeshadow palettes, so when they come out with more and more color stories that I'm into, I'm going to get them. So I'm gonna have to start a whole nother drawer just for Glamlite eyeshadow palettes. But hopefully this was somewhat entertaining to watch, maybe helpful in some way, comparing different eyeshadow palettes for you guys, showing you the insides of all of them, showing you some hidden gems, discontinued palettes. Maybe it inspires you to pull out your Glamlite eyeshadow palettes and use them again. But if you like any kind of makeup content, definitely like and subscribe before you leave. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.